Welcome back to our travels to Israel. I hope you enjoy this segment. View of the old city looking southward. There's the dome. All the rooftops. Minaret. There's the Damascus Gate. Looking straight down outside the Damascus Gate. He's pouring water, I think, for people, or tea, one or the other. Inside the Damascus Gate. You should have seen it yesterday. The day before it was even more crowded. It's only about not even 10 o'clock in the morning and already it's really hot. Now here's a good view, sitting in the shade.
Rooftops of the city.
This is interesting. You can see a menorah at the base of that minaret there. An Israeli flag, and then your Muslim minaret. Another one in the background. Israeli soldier at his lookout post. Checking Tanya out behind him. Right here on the roof. Making sure everything stays quiet. Well, here's one of the things that I had been looking for, hoping to see. It doesn't look nearly the same as it did 20 years ago, but you can just barely make out that this could look like a skull. It was very much more like that 20 years ago.
And try to imagine what it would have looked like 2,000 years ago. How much more like a skull.
Right. It's a very porous area. And it's just below the Garden Tomb. The Garden Tomb is just above and to the left here. Well, there it is. The place of the skull. It's so hot out. I can hardly even stand here in the shade and film it. Tanya says that her thermometer says 95 out. And that was when we were sitting in the shade.
That's when we just sat down in the shade.
That's when we were just sat down in the shade.
Being out in the sun.
Stone wall to your right there. We've been sitting resting in this little stairwell here before we go out into that hot sun again through that gate. It is so hot. My face is beet red.
92, 93 in the shade. It's hobbling out there. And here is Mom, looking as hot and tired as I feel. And again, like she said, here we are in a nice little stairwell with the plastered roof.
This is a good excuse to just sit here for a little while longer. Cool down a little bit more. There's a little breeze coming through. It feels so good. Looking eastward, we're at the northeast corner of the wall. There's the road that goes around. And there's a little path down to the Muslim cemetery on the east side of the wall. We're looking eastward toward the Mount of Olives, the Rift line. You see on this side of the road There's a young olive grove. That's the way I imagine Jesus, what it was in Jesus' time on the Mount of Olives. Looking down toward the east gate. And down toward the south. Well, we've made it almost to St. Stephen's Gate now. There it is down there. Tanya says it's about 97 degrees now. At least I'm feeling a little breeze. See across on the mountain over there? All brown. That's Jewish graves lining that whole hillside across there. Pretty amazing, huh? There's the rift line coming down the hill, going right past Church of All Nations, the Garden Tomb, or not Garden Tomb, Garden of Gethsemane. There's the Garden of Gethsemane over there. See another street going up, that's on the way to Bethany. I don't know. Field trip below us. There we go. I want to be on camera. I can't help but wonder if those are the future Arab soldiers that'll fight against the Israelis. These are all Arab graves out on the east side of the wall. Everybody wants to be close to where Messiah is going to come. Whether it's Muhammad or Yeshua or the Messiah unknown to the Jews. In the background, you can hear them singing daily prayers, noon prayers from a minaret. There's a breeze blowing now. It feels so good, so cool. This is interesting. We're facing inward. Just to my right is St. Stephen's Gate. We're still up on the wall. Look at what's carved above those windows there. Is that interesting or what? We're supposed to be in the Arab quarter. This is the Arab door going onto the Temple Mount. And there's a big plots like around it. There, now you can get a better view. Here's the door. Right directly ahead of us is a minaret. We just had afternoon prayers. And just beyond that, the Dome of the Rock. Rain, delicious wet rain. It actually rains here in Israel. This is just out the back window. Oh, it's cooled everything off so nicely. Oh, look at those big, huge drops. We've gotten a real thunderstorm here. This is the courtyard of Christ Church in the rain. Whoa, listen to that thunder. is looking out toward the Jaffa Gate, or at least out of the gate of Christchurch compound. All wet. Wet, wet, wet. Wet, wet. This is from the doorway of our motel room, or our hotel room, whatever. Guest house room. All wet. Car is still going up those slippery stone roads.
Just as fast as ever.
Just as fast as ever. It's not fancy or anything, but it's very nice. This is going up to our room. Now that I've gotten used to this camera, I kind of really like it. It's a little alcove there. This is our hallway, and Tanya's just going into our room. Now maybe I can get a picture out the window without getting rained on. Over to the right there, that's the cafeteria area where we eat. We're at the Knesset. It's closed because of Pesach. This is going to be a long weekend. Today, tomorrow. In fact, the Knesset may have been closed all week, I'm not sure, but everything else is closing down in about an hour. But I thought you might enjoy seeing this. That's the Knesset building. I'm going to walk over here toward the entrance. Flowers in front. High fences with barbed wire all around here. A lot of security. A lot more security than I remember 20 years ago. A lot more greenery and shrubs and trees too. A 180-degree turnaround from the Knesset is the National Menorah. Again, there's lots of fences around, etc. This used to just be an all-open area over here. People are coming, so I'm going to try to get some film work here. There it is. Before everybody gets up there and takes pictures. Neat, huh? I found a little place here where I could take a picture through the gates so you could see what the Knesset looked like. Just kind of plain, square. They've been planting flowers all over the place. Really look pretty. This is along the fence line in front of the Knesset. Back over there's the menorah. Flower boxes. Guardhouses. Yeah, you can get up closer. I was just gonna pan in and get a good shot of that. Our little photographer here. Oh, this is a pretty good view of the Knesset. Tourist. Israeli tourists going by. Looks sort of like a lilac tree, only different. There's a couple of them around here, right across from the Knesset. Relaxing and eating our power bars. Very kosher.
They're not kosher.
Not kosher.
Not for Pesach.
Not for Pesach. Rose garden here, and I thought I would just take a picture of a few of them. They look very healthy. Very beautiful. Not very many in bloom yet, though. Use drip irrigation. It's beautiful and quiet here. Could be a beautiful pool there. But it's been kind of polluted. Look what we found. Bottom of a little pool. Mosaic. Isn't that neat? Now these roses are blooming pretty. This is on the by the entrance going up. We're on our way to the western wall. Just had to stop because the sun's shining on the hill there. This looks beautiful. This is the southern wall on the inside. We're here at the Garden Tomb, and I'm looking at the Hill of the Skull. We've got the fumes of the Airbus station here. This is an old picture that's posted to show what Golgotha or this area looked like several years ago. It does look rather like a skull. Up on top is a Muslim cemetery. You can see it, the real thing there, up on top of the Muslim cemetery. The place of the skull. And this is a wine press near the front entrance. You can see there's a little trough there. Not sure what that's for. Pool-like. And it comes right down to a pit here. Here's a small round stone. I'm sure there were ones that were much bigger than that. This is going away from the garden tomb, or going away from the tomb itself. I have a feeling that this was a cistern area that caught rainwater for the garden. Very beautiful place. One last look. It's a beautiful garden, isn't it? A lot of the calla lilies in front. This is by the entrance. Beautiful, beautiful.
Not the place of worshiping like the synagogue, the house of gathering, Bet Knesset, by the theater. And let's go to the theater.
The sarcophagus, where they would keep the bones of those buried. Going into the Colosseum now. We're sitting here in the Roman Colosseum, looking out over the Sea of Caesarea. That's the stage down there. You can hear the waves quite well. Another tour group. Looks like a modern day Colosseum, doesn't it? Except it's all stone.
It's all very doesn't at the moment. Not too. You put it under your chin. Well, it was her. So I was going to put some ribbon on.
Right out there's the seawall.
Well, it was a nice silly little fiddly bit, you know.
Just to continue from where we stopped, coming into the theater, this is only 1/3 of the theater from the time of Jesus or Paul or Peter. When you come out, you'll be able to see again those pillars of that support another set of seats. It was up high, and it said that here at Caesarea you can have about 7,000 people sit here. So it was, we just see a portion of what was here at Paul's time. Now, how much is original? You can see it's really hard to say how much, but you can see the sandstone. This is the sandstone of Caesarea. This is original. In the floor you can see the marbles, which is original, and you can see that here this is the orchestra, the stage. From the stage you see the stairs. People came up from the changing room. Or later they keep the animal down there. They had a wall here that went around. You can see just partly of the wall. Later they building a wall here that was high enough to keep the lions from coming attacking the audience. What is so significant between the conversion of Cornelius and his family? What is so significant about that? Was the first Gentile to come into faith in Jesus. Did you know that about 13 years period there was only Jewish people that believed in Jesus and followed him, disciples, all Jewish. And it's almost like we see that Jesus, until that time, focusing on the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Well, he reached out to the women at Tyre, where she begged him and says, well, even the dogs eat the crumbs from under the table. He reached out to the man in Gadara and delivered him. But then he told him, go and tell your own people. But here we can see that God is preparing both. He had to prepare Peter on the roof, on his time of prayer, the afternoon prayer, on the roof of Simon the tanner. And he had to prepare this guy here, Cornelius. That, as the Bible says, was God-fearer. What does it mean, God-fearer? He believed in God. And who is this guy, Cornelius? Well, just another Gentile. Not. He was an officer. It says, an officer in charge of 100 men. And he's calling to Peter, as God gave him a revelation, to come here into Caesarea.
This comes to the end of today's travels, but come back next time and we'll see some more of Israel.